Yes, so I'm going to just brief you where we were, and after that, I'm going to take it forward from there so that it will be easier for us to go ahead. But basically, I guess I had left it till international guests of country. We had that jet places, the pinpoint of the precision saluted me and pledged their loyalty. Elected. Okay. Troop carriers rode in perfect formation of the over the Union buildings. Okay, we'll keep it. We'll start from there. So, Nelson Mandela, basical. What can I say is, if I go elaborately into it, it will be like. It provides use of glimpse of the early life of Nelson Mandela, his education, his 30 years in prison, and the pains he had suffered in his young age. It recounts the fight for freedom for his own people who were tortured by the whites. Whites, in the sense, is foreigners, or the Americans, or the Britishers. Okay, whites. In this chapter which you are going to study, there are two contradictory places, pictures, I mean, or pictures in the sense not a photograph. It pictures that of his own country, in one which the blacks were tortured and suffered, and they suffered about it quietly. The second, the blacks will be free to live the life of their own. So very contradiction. In that same place, they are tortured in their own country, and in that same place, they are getting freedom. Imagine India was in this position at some time. Just go back to Bahadur Shah Zafar, the last hero of the Mughal Empire. Britishers came and told him, "Oh, you are the Badshah. You are the Jahapana. You are the Badshah." Abdul Zafar became very. Bahadur Shah Zafar was very happy. Oh my God, I am going to become the Badshah. They have called the English people, the fair people have told me, foreigners have told me they are going to become the Badshah. Give me your manpower. He gave them manpower. Okay, fine. Okay. Once they got the power, they picked him up and put him into Rangoon, Burma. Killed his two sons. Finished. Game finished. India was captured. Indians gave up India, if I am not wrong. Sirajud-Dowla, strong Nawabs of Bengal. Strong, no one was able to touch him. Mir Jafar doomed him. In our Bengali sayings also, that people who betray, we call them Mir Jafars. You betrayed us. No one else has betrayed like Mir Jafar. He betrayed the Nawab of Bengal, Sirajud-Dowla. British got that chance to capture Bengal. Head office Kolkata, capital of India. Took permission from the last Mughal and tried to do business in India. They took away everything. Just imagine how people died in the Jallianwala Bagh. It was a massacre, which is called the Jallianwala Bagh massacre. People were not even with guns. They didn't know they had come to celebrate Baisakhi. And the small kid who murdered the Viceroy, I am forgetting his name. In 1940, he went and killed him in England, but he killed him. Shot him. Because as a childhood, he saw those deaths. But they did not move back. The Punjabis did not move back. They fought. Gandhiji had to call back his agitation or his hartal all over India, which he had called for non-cooperation movement. All over India had called a hartal, and Punjab had taken action. But Dyer was the viceroy at that time, commander or governor or something. Dyer. He shot open fired 1,650 rounds of bullets. One round does not have one bullet. One round has got lot of bullets. It depends upon what type of gun you are using. I had a 12 round gun. That was a Mauser magazine. It was a Mauser gun. We can call it a automatic Mauser, which had a magazine in the back with 12 bullets. Pull and tang 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 12 bullets go. And when I had a LMG, a light machine gun, I used to have 18 rounds, sometimes 12 rounds, sometimes 16 rounds of gunfire. One round is that one magazine, one, I have one round of bullets, I have two round of bullets, so that's 24, 48 bullets. So 1650 rounds of firing had gone on unarmed people. 1500 died on the spot. 2000 or 1500 died on the spot. But people fought. But today we are enjoying the freedom because of them. Today you are able to enjoy Chinese apps because of them. Today you are able to be safe because the borders are there, because we got the freedom, we are there. But we call ourselves Republic Democrat. Are we still Democrat? Are we still following the democracy? We still don't know what's the meaning of equality. Right? So this is all about Mandela also. He fought. And lot of Indian, Indian freedom fighters were inspired and influenced by his fight, and they followed quite a lot of things in India as well. So about the characters, it's Nelson Mandela, the first black president of South Africa who fought for the equal rights of the black. He suffered a lot of pain for the freedom. Zenani is the daughter of Nelson Mandela, who accompanied Mandela in his inauguration day. She was very much close to him. Thabo Mbeki, first deputy president of South Africa, who was very close to Mandela. Mr. de Klerk, second deputy president of South Africa. So this is all the information. Overview. What is the overview? The overview of the part which we are studying is, see, this is the way I try to explain stories. This is actually a story. We are learning, we are reading. So extensive reading is needed. Sometimes I go out from the course, out of that lane. We are on that Mandela lane, but to explain about Mandela, I have to go out and bring in examples. That will be much more interesting for you to compare it with that chapter, right? It was 10th of May for the inauguration, day of oath, with a bright and shiny sun. An oath is not a promise. It's a type of promise. Oath is much more, you take the oath when you are doing in your assembly. You take an oath. Now we are all brothers and sisters. We'll come to that some other time when I'm into India, why they were called, why did they take the oath that we are all Indians are brothers and sisters. So take an oath that I am going to be the president, I am going to take care of this country, I am going to follow the rules, I will not let anything happen. So that's a very big responsibility. Promising is something else. Actually, we should not promise. If I promise touching your head, okay, I promise touching your head tomorrow. From tomorrow, I will not fight with you. Can I change one hair of yours from black to white or white to black or red to green or something? Can I change that color? I promise your hair is going to change tomorrow. Can I change it? Then why am I touching your head? I cannot change it. So I cannot promise. That's why promises are broken. I don't have that power to change anything in your head. So why should I take control of your head? Why should I take that point as a head? God promise. You are not God. God promise I am going to do that. What has God to do between it? God is hearing that you are taking his false promise. God promise I am going to do it. Just do it. If you really have to do it, you don't have to promise. And oath is confirming that he is going to do that. Doctors take an oath, they don't promise. They take an oath. Swearing in ceremony, they take an oath. When you are getting marriage, you take an oath that by sickness or whatever, I'll be there by your side. Everything is an oath. Oath is much more powerful than a promise. Means you are going to do it. That's determined. Okay? So that's what it is. My perception, again, I'm telling you. I'm not speaking it on a general issue. It's a perception, and it's a positive perception, and it has got logic. If I say anything illogic or which is not logical, please do revert back to me. Okay, you can always, I'm always on the YouTube channel. You see my videos on the YouTube channel, just jot down a message and say what was wrong about it. Okay, if I am out of the way and if I'm speaking something not logical, so I can contradict that for you also. Okay, but just don't just write it for to make it a legend, to make yourself important or make us important. If you have a vital issue, please do go ahead and let me know. I am going to answer it for you. Okay. So Nelson Mandela was supposed to take the oath as the first black president of South Africa. A large number of leaders around the world had gathered there to be the witness of the swearing-in ceremony of Nelson Mandela as the first black president. Inauguration ceremony was about to take place in the big open building, Pretoria, an open arena, where the first democratic non-racial government was to be installed. At a first point of time, the whole world was blaming him, put him into jail. Various people had supported, but today the whole world has come to support him with all so many colors in place of that black. So many world colors, so many flags have come in. You know, when celebrities come out from other countries to our country, their country flags are shown. At hotels also, if dignitaries are coming in from the abroad countries, foreign countries, guests when they come in, so the hotel where they're going to stay, all their country flags are put up. Because every country's embassy is there in our country, right? So they have the right of swearing their flag. So those flags are there in the hotels to give them respect. So that shows the community gathering, flags. It's not just putting flags, it shows the powerfulness, the togetherness of flags. One BJP flag here, 10 BJP flags there. What does it mean? There are 10 people who love BJP here. That doesn't mean you don't have to count, go to the house, are you from BJP, are you from... The flags will say what is the connection. Okay, so that's a very deep thing in everything in politics and all. So that gives us another issue about knowing things. So we'll keep it till the next chapter, next class. When I'll come back, I'll take it forward and we'll go through, and I guess I'll finish. But even it's very tough to finish. Anyways, I'll try to finish it for you guys. Okay. Thank you so much. Take care of yourselves. Be good, be safe, and take care of yourselves and your family, and love your parents and listen to them, respect them, because they are the most expensive gifts in the whole world you've got from God. And have fun with them, teach them some taekwondo kick shots and all that. Take them to the terrace, do some physical activities, get your brain juggling up. You have got your exams are coming, so you have to refresh your brain, get it energized. Staying with your books 24 hours will not make you good. You have to gather knowledge. Do that and you will not ever blame me. Okay, and you'll see that what happens. Studies is there. With studies you need to change. The car also is sent to servicing, right? So even if it's a new car, after so many kilometers it has to go for servicing. I can say, no, it's my new car, why should I send it for servicing? I don't need it, it's okay, I'll keep on driving, finished. Again it will go to the workshop and it will not come out in time. So that's what happens. Take care of yourselves, God bless, and see you soon. Bye bye.